Don't worry, Oni-sama's here to protect you. This chapter of Bleach, I really like the middle part, but the start with like Soithon's Fat Lieutenant, I just didn't care about. So it started off with like him just looking around saying, "Oh, what the hell is happening around here?" So, they're making like, "What happened to the division builders? Where are they?" And his little sister's there saying, "Oh, she's really scared. I don't want to go. Please stay here." And I guess this was some like development for him since like he hasn't really done it. To be honest, I never actually liked this character at all. So I guess that's why I probably just didn't like this most part of this chapter because he was just saying I'm just going to protect everyone. It's my job as like one of the God 13 to actually do this, and it's like I've got to protect the Serete, and I guess that was kind of cool. And then you get to see K, I believe his name, the one that stole Soithong's Bankai, and I believe he was called BG9 or something, like, because I remember seeing like a color, and it was, I think he's stern rated KBG9 from what I've been hearing, like, and he looks pretty cool, like with the whole like mask, like reminds me of like a visor's mask or something. And then the rest of this chapter was dedicated to Hitsugaya and Rangiku versus H the Heat Bazz-B. And I really like this because these two seem to have like a complete opposite version since Bazz-B is so hot-headed and cool, and then he's a guy so cool-headed. Since it really made sense since one was fire and the other one was ice. And pretty much he's a guy who was actually holding up alright even without his Bankai for a while. Like he was even saying, uh, the only really difference without his Bankai is the amount of quantity of ice, and they even noticed that how thin his ice is, and Bazz-B can just melt it so quick, and actually has to have the help of his lieutenant, Rangiku, and surprisingly, like, he's the guy's one of those ones who's full of pride, and all he doesn't really ask the, help, and he said, yeah, I still really can't control it alone. And Rangiku was actually so smug, like, saying, oh, this is so cute when you actually not got your Bankai. And I actually liked what they actually did here because Rangiku really hasn't been able to do anything, and I felt like her Shikai, or like if she has got a potential Bankai, I felt like it really never really got fully explored. And combining Hinako, like using a technique called Hinako House, and like Hitsugaya Shikai, they make a multi-vacuum layer of an ice wall where basically they just keep making like multiple empty layers, thanks to that, since like Hanako can just keep returning back to its normal form and keep doing this. So to make up for his loss of ice, the amount of ice he can produce, he just makes multiple versions of the small ice until it ends, which I really liked. I thought that was a really cool ability to counteract dealing it, but how, like, how powerful can really Hitsugaya be? Because we still don't know how much time has passed since the training, and that's something I feel like I really want to get. And I really did like the part at the end of the chapter, like, when he said, like, let me slash you with a vacuum ice blade, and it just completely went through Bazz-B. And he even said, like, next week we got something to look forward to, like a big shock. So I'm looking forward to this chapter. This chapter overall, I really enjoyed it. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. It's just the start. I didn't really care for the lieutenant, or Soifon. Pretty much this was Hitsugai's chapter though. And overall, yeah, read it. It was a good read this week. But that's all from me. I want to thank you very much for watching. As always, remember people, straight like a panda, Zana, and I'll see you next time, people.